Hi, welcome to the Industry Astrology Full Moon Forecast for November of 2022, a total lunar eclipse. Moon is waxing, the energy is growing, getting more intense. How are you feeling? Moon is waxing, growing brighter, and on November 8th, between 1:06 a.m. and 4:49 a.m. Pacific time, the moon will move behind the shadow of the Earth for a total lunar eclipse. Excited, maybe nervous or frazzled even, on the precipice of something new, something completely unexpected maybe too. Eclipse season brings big transformation often. Challenges around accepting loss and opening to new possibilities. It's a time when things accelerate, speed up, synchronicities can happen, strange occurrences that we weren't expecting. So it's a time when fate can take a hold of our lives, but also a time when we can let go of the past, change deep patterns, and see things from a different vantage point. This lunar eclipse is powerful because it is a blood moon, a total lunar eclipse, and we're not going to have another one until 2025. How it impacts you on a personal level does depend on how it aspects your natal chart. And if you are a Vedic Aries in your natal chart, if you have Aries prominent, or if you are running a dasha cycle, a karmic cycle of Rahu or Ketu or the moon, it could have a much deeper impact. Check out my 2022-2023 horoscope class to find out more about how it might impact you on a personal level. The lunar eclipse is in the Vedic lunar mansion, or the nakshatra, called Bharani nakshatra. Bharani is a fierce nakshatra of life and death. It is symbolized by a yoni, the birth canal, where souls take rebirth. And it is also ruled by Yama, who is the Lord of Death. So there is something very transformative around this nakshatra, and the fact that it's falling so close to the Day of the Dead and this time of year when we honor death. It is a powerful lunar eclipse indeed to remember those we've lost. Now, Bharani is a star of female reproductive power, right? She is symbolized by the birth canal, the womb, and she has to do with that creative power of life itself. The last eclipse we had in Bharani, which was in April, a solar eclipse, came right after the Supreme Court leak around the Roe versus Wade decision around reproductive rights. And this lunar eclipse is actually falling on the very same day as the first midterm election in the US that we're having since. And so there is something on a collective level, on a political level, which is also, affecting us on a personal level. Another very rare and unusual thing about this lunar eclipse is that it is occulting Uranus, the outer planet Uranus, meaning it is right on top of Uranus, less than 1 degree away from this outer planet of revolution, originality, awakening, this power of freedom, the urge to transform and change. So this is not a peaceful lunar eclipse. There is something volatile, there is something unusual, even electrifying in this energy. And again, on a collective level, this may be bringing up some big issues around this election in the United States, in other countries too, around women's rights perhaps, around creative rights. And it's a time that you might be really feeling pushed to take a fearless step into something that has to do with your creative purpose, perhaps your mission in life, something that is wanting to awaken and come forward. Mercury, the planet of communication and markets, is also completely combust during this lunar eclipse, so making a perfect opposition to the moon and Uranus. Wow, there is something that could get quite wonky with Mercury, perhaps, around communication, travel, and I'm concerned perhaps about the counting of votes, market volatility, things like this. Also, we have Venus, who is also combust right now. You can't see her either, and she's making a square aspect to Saturn. Saturn is aspecting 10th into her. Now, Saturn and Venus could be bringing up relationship stuff, as the last solar eclipse also, which we had 2 weeks ago, was conjoined Venus as well. So there's something evolving through in relationships, transformation, change, maybe a need for more freedom, something different in defining relationships or partnerships. But there is something that is evolving and changing right now very quickly on the outer level, the collective consciousness, and on the inner level, how you feel free in your body, perhaps how you feel free in your life. Warrior Mars is the ruler of this moon because Bharani falls in sidereal Aries, the sign of sidereal Aries. And Mars is now retrograde. He is moving backwards. And so there is maybe a sense of frustration with all of this as well, and hitting blockages or not being clear, particularly with the way Mercury is combust. There may be misinformation or confusion or rapid shifts in perspective now. So it's best to meditate around the times of eclipses, stay quiet, don't do anything too risky unless it's something that needs to be done. Often, though, the actions we take around eclipse season, or especially the closer we get to the eclipse, are radical actions. They force us into making big life-changing decisions. And so it's traditional to avoid signing contracts, doing risky sports, things like that, especially during the hours of the lunar eclipse in the early morning on November 8th. It's a great time to meditate, do mantra, and go within, using this powerful awakening energy to heal and to transform patterns that may be holding you back. Eclipse season is a spectacular time of change. It is a time of drastic measures, sometimes too, dramatic situations. And so embrace what's coming, watch what's happening. If you're ready to make a change, grab onto it. And if you're not sure, sit, take it inward, and work with it on an internal level, and just wait a few weeks before you take action. Okay, so let's just take a look at what the tarot cards have to say about this powerful lunar eclipse in Bharani Nakshatra. Okay, so the first card that came through is the Nine of Cups. While Bharani is ruled by Yama, the god of death, it is also a star of renewal. It has the power to renew life. It's about cycles, regeneration, and sort of an endless possibility, an endless coming forward of creativity, cycles of creativity. So there's something here, I think the cards are saying, around a huge creative possibility right now. It's a star that has to do with restraint, but it's a fierce kind of containment, like a womb that protects and nourishes and waits and bears life. So within this lunar eclipse, there's a huge, fertile potential. And then the Magus. I think we got the Magus last solar eclipse too. I have to go back and see. But this, Magus is the magician, and it is the card of Mercury, that quick, fast-moving, clever planet, the one that moves things along, the power of Vata to keep the prana moving. And Mercury is very much entangled right now with this eclipse because of the perfect Cassini conjunction. That means Mercury is really right aligned with the sun right now, in a time of neither here nor there, in the center of the soul of the sun. And so there's a great deal of insight that's possible, a flexibility perhaps, that because of it's a lunar eclipse with Uranus as well, there's a new kind of freedom in communication, a surprising result of a problem. And then the Ace of Swords. Yeah, the eclipse, a new beginning or idea coming forward, facing fears, reorganizing, to witness the shadow of the eclipse, the shadow of our fears, our doubts, or what we don't want to see. By opening to all parts, by working like the magician, to integrate all the different feelings we may be having, a whole new pathway can open. Face the fears and the anxieties with a renewed sense of power. Creation is always renewing itself. Its nature is fertility. To be born again and again, always in purification. A new opportunity is coming forward. A new idea is being born. You have so many different ways you can see a problem. Trust in the power of your life to renew itself. You are her womb, the power to release and the power to hold. Something creative wants to be born. Okay, well, thanks for coming to the lunar eclipse forecast for this November. I'm Kari Field, and I do offer one-on-one Vedic astrology readings and tarot readings. You can book a Zoom meeting with me online. I'll leave a link in the description window below. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and check out my horoscope class. It's up for purchase, pre-recorded class on Rahu, the one who's causing this lunar eclipse, and Ketu, his tail and counterpart, and how they are affecting the astrology now and through 2023, and it does include horoscopes for all 12 Vedic signs. And I will see you soon, coming up on the next new moon. Take care.